Do not let Nebraska's 2018 season of 4-8 fool you. This is going to be a team that is alive and well in the 2019 season. Very dangerous team that no one's really even talking about yet. Nebraska's schedule preview. We're going to be going over a few players of this team will be losing, who they're going to be returning. Also, we're going to be looking at their schedule for the first time this offseason. They went 4-8 in 2018. They were way better than that record shows, I do believe. They started 2018 rough, however. They had a huge losing streak to start off the season. Of course, though, in 2017, they had more of the same result. They went 4-8 once again in 2017. But yeah, last year they got blown out a few times at the beginning of the season, but then they gradually were able to get in some wins. They hung with Ohio State in the middle of the season. They were eventually able to hang with Iowa, almost beat them there. And then they won a few good games in there. They beat Michigan State as well. Yeah, so they ended the season great. They returned Adrian Martinez, who is a very dangerous quarterback. I really do believe that this guy could be a Heisman contender within the next couple of years. He had great stats from last season. They lose a Zigbo, though, 2 offensive linemen, Morgan on offense, so he's a receiver. And then they lose Zigbo, a running back. He's helped this team quite a bit, so that may be a pretty big loss there. However, they do have Washington, I do believe, and I think at the running back core, though, they should be okay there. They lose 1 defensive end, 2 linebackers, and 2 safeties. So on defense, I mean, this was already a defense that wasn't too great. Defense may still struggle, but I do think this offense definitely is going to be a great one. The offense will be the bright side of this team next year. Big Ten championship run possible. It is definitely possible for almost every team in the Big Ten West this season, except for Illinois. The 6 teams like Purdue, we got Nebraska, Iowa, Northwestern, Minnesota. All these teams, I think, have got a good chance to possibly make a run for the championship next year. However, not any of these teams are going to be outliers, or not one of them is going to be like a really big standout. But I do think Nebraska, though, is my favorite to win the Big Ten West right now. Just looking at the potential that this team has, it is crazy. But of course, we are still several months until the season beginning, so still lots to change there. One of the best offenses in college football, I do believe that they're going to be one of the best offenses in college football either this year or next year. Once again, ton of potential with this team. 2019 outlook is going to be great for Nebraska. Here is their schedule. Not too bad in some parts. They have South Alabama to kick off the season. You got at Colorado. Could be a somewhat tough game there. Of course, with it being a road game and partially in the altitude, you never know with a game that's at Colorado. Then you got Northern Illinois at home. Should win that game. You got at Illinois, Ohio State, Northwestern at home. That Ohio State game, watch out. Mark that one on your calendars if you're a Nebraska fan. So I do believe that could be a big day for Nebraska. Northwestern at home the next week, at Minnesota, Indiana at home, Purdue, Wisconsin, Maryland, and Iowa. So really, they have quite a few road games on this schedule next season. Here's kind of what I think. I think they win the first 4 games pretty easily. At Colorado, though, will be their toughest of those 4 games. Should take care of Illinois on the road. Then you got Ohio State, Northwestern. Those are going to be your first 2 tests on this schedule. Both of them being at home, that is going to help them a ton. You have to go to Minnesota the next week. That is going to be more of a tougher game, I do believe. I think Minnesota, actually, hear me out on this. I think this team, Minnesota, is going to surprise a lot of people in 2019 as well. If you watch my schedule preview on Minnesota, I was talking about how, they're returning so many players. And with PJ Fleck in there, I do think I do think it took him a couple of years for it to kick in, but I do think that Minnesota will have a pretty great year next year. Indiana at home the following week for them. Actually, they do have a bye week in between the 12th and the 26th. And then they have Indiana at home, but Indiana should be a good team as well, so watch out for that game as well. At Purdue, that's always one to watch out for. Wisconsin at home, that is going to help them a lot. Nebraska's had some trouble in Madison over the recent years, and so I think it'll help to have them at home as well. Maryland on the road, and then you got Iowa at home. So really, most of their tough games are at home. You got Iowa at home, Wisconsin, Indiana, Northwestern, Ohio State. You got all those at home. So that is going to help them a ton next season, I do believe. This schedule is very favorable for this team. 7-5 to 11-1, I say, is the estimated record. If you want a more defined estimate for me, it'd be 8 or 9 wins. I think that is the most likely. That's the most likely. Could they get 10 wins? It is very possible that they get 10 wins next season, believe me or not. It's crazy saying that, knowing that this was a team that went 4-8 2 seasons in a row. But Scott Frost is going to be doing some great things in Nebraska. This team is they're going to be pretty good over the next few years. I do believe that. So yeah, that's about it for Nebraska's schedule preview. Let me know what you think on this team in the comments below. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts. This is a team that's more of a toss-up for me. It was more or less very tough to predict because, I mean, for a team that had kind of struggled in the 2018 season, you never really know. But I have a lot of confidence in Nebraska next season. We are now done with the Big Ten schedule previews. Now it is on to the ACC. We're going to be going over the ACC schedule previews next. So yeah, stay tuned for those. Thank you guys all for watching once again. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this team in the comments below, and I will see y'all later.